Hey guys, welcome back to
Real
Love Stereo. So, welcome back. For those who are new, we're not crazy.
Thank you, Dre.
If you watched the last episode, we said that we were going to jazz it up.
Yeah.
In the intro.
Yeah, little Zatarans on it.
So we're not weird if your friend sent you this and they're like, take a listen,
What's
and you're like, what's wrong with them?
Going on? They're crazy.
That was interesting. Yeah, we're not weird.
We're not. We just love the name of our podcast.
Yep.
And we just like to remix it when we come on and say hi to you guys.
Exactly.
That's all.
So welcome back to the Real Lovers. Shout out to the new Real Lovers. Join the gang, the Real Lover gang. Like, subscribe, comment, do all the things. Follow the podcast on the podcast app.
Please.
Free to you, but means a lot to us.
Please.
We appreciate that. Rhonda, how are you doing? You doing okay?
I'm lovely. Just celebrated a big old birthday.
Oh, shit.
Not that big of a birthday. 41. So I'm feeling great.
Libra season.
Feeling great. Feeling good. Trying to stay 29 forever in energy, in spirit.
Yes.
It's not working exactly, but I want to be as close to it as possible. So I'm great.
How your knees feel? They say when you get older, your knees.
See, here's the thing, real quick about my knees, because we're gonna get off it because we gotta help the people. My knees are actually in really great shape for my age.
Good.
However.com. I fell down the steps earlier this year and injured my left knee, landed on my left knee, and that knee is just, it's not 100%. It's not 100%.
So we ain't gonna say that's age related.
Right. It's really injury related.
There we go.
Yes, it's injury related. So I still can do okay. I still can do okay, but I'm disappointed about that because I have always prided myself in having, they're not Meg knees, but they're Meg-ish knees.
On the cha-cha side, when they say how low can you go,
I can go. And I can bring it up slow. Bring it up in the flow. Yeah, I can do that. I can do it all very well without always having to press on my knees. So I'm doing all right. I want to still be able to do that at 61.
Okay.
So that's the goal. I may not use it anywhere other than my house, but yeah, I need to feel as youthful as possible. So health as well. I love that. Health as well.
I love that.
How are you?
I'm doing well. Blessed and highly favored.
Yes. It's officially baby making month.
It is.
And I ain't going to put no pressure on you at all because this is a personal journey and no one should be pressuring you or Bree.
That is true.
But I'm excited.
So excited.
I'm very excited. And I'm wishing you many blessings on this moment because it's going to be great and I know Bree's going to do a whole rollout.
Oh.
Once she finds out she's pregnant.
Yeah, I don't even know.
It's going to be a whole thing. So I'm just looking forward to it. You are definitely going to cry. Definitely. So. If you don't cry, I'm going to be a little nervous.
If you don't see me cry on a video, we probably redid it and restaged it. Yeah. So that's probably what happened.
Okay. Yeah. I don't think that's necessary. Like if you just told me like, yo, when she told me like I cried, like, yes, everything doesn't need to be recorded, y'all. But I'm excited for you guys. I'm wishing you many, many blessings and praying for a quick and safe conception.
I hope so too.
Yes.
Thank you so much. For our real lovers, we want to shout out. We do our real lover shout out. So I want to shout out one of our real lovers. It was under a video that Rhonda and I did. One of our more popular videos. You should check it out.
Okay.
Leading versus controlling.
That was
and I think it's from a man that wrote the comment, and he said that just changed my whole perspective on my actions and my priorities. Not gonna lie, my whole generation needed to see this video.
Wow, it's so true. It's such a good episode, and it does really break it down. And Dre, you did so phenomenal in that episode explaining the difference, because I do think some of the really traditional ways of leading are controlling, and you don't know that until you really get with it. So and really sit with that. So I love it that you were able to introduce a new perspective to him.
Thank you,
Mr. Sir. We hope you shared that video with lots of your friends.
Yes, we do.
Especially the men. We hope you did that. We hope you did that.
Well, we're glad that that you liked it, and we hope that your generation, whatever generation that may be, sees that.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to talk about our real life love scenario today.
Yeah, funny one.
I saw this video. It was Taylor Rooks and Asia Wilson. Asia Wilson is the star, MVP of the WNBA, star for the Las Vegas Aces. Just a dog. She is a beast. She is awesome. One of the best, generational talent. Amazing. But her and Taylor were talking, I think it was on a Bleacher Report podcast. They were talking about Asia said that she hates Love and Basketball.
The film.
The film. Doesn't like it. She was like, I'm not playing you for my heart.
Yeah.
Like, trash. I don't like the concept, especially after all the stuff that he done put her through. Like, nah. Nope. Yeah. No. Now, she said maybe it's her generation, which is possible because if you ask a certain generation, it was their favorite movie or favorite love movie, Love and Basketball was always the answer.
Yes.
So I asked this question to you. First, I know you don't think Love and Basketball trash.
No.
But what do you feel like is the best love story? Now you go movie, you can go anything in the entertainment. Like, what's the best?
Oh man. The first one that jumps out to me, it's not a Black film, but I do have a Black one. But the first one that jumps out to me is The Notebook.
Okay.
That's such a classic love story for me. And it did come with some stuff. You know, that relationship was dicey, from family issues to, you know, like they moved, like she went and followed the guy that her family wanted her to marry, and that hurt him, of course, and it ultimately wasn't the best decision, but it was what it was. But just the romance, all the sappiness, any movie that has love on such a high that I cry it's going to be on my list. So The Notebook is definitely one for me. I think my favorite Black one, man, it's just so many, but the one that I can't shake is Love Jones.
I knew she was gonna say that. I was
gonna say Love Jones, but a close second favorite is Best Man Holiday, specifically Best Man Holiday.
That was a tearjerker right
there.
That
one, man, I mean, to me, better than the original Best Man. Just how they did the story, and I felt like Best Man Holiday was so different because for the most part, they were all at that point in mostly solid relationships that just were having issues.
Yeah.
The marriages had matured, where in Best Man, everything was still kind of new and all over the place.
I feel like Best Man was more comedy focused. With like serious elements. I feel like Best Man Holiday was more drama with
comedic relief
in there.
Yes,
right.
Yes.
So I feel like that was the different balance there.
Yes, yeah. But I just love that it encompassed so much about love in the romantic sense, but there was such focus on love in the platonic friendship space. Like you saw it through the true seasons you experience it, from love to life to loss. It was, yeah, that one messes me up every time. So that's my love story trifecta. Okay. Those three. What about you?
That's a good one. So when I think of love stories, the first one I remember, you know, as a man, I'm not typically just watching love stories, you know, just by myself, right? But I always like to consume things that people say are the best, right? This is the best, whatever. This is the best, whatever, you know? So just to try it, just to see, because if it's the best, you know, it must be worth watching. And I remember one random evening, I may have been like 21, 22, maybe 19. And I was like, I'm just going to watch Titanic.
Oh, yeah.
Just going to watch it. And I was like, dog, this is good. Like, this is a good movie. But then I took my old English days back in history classes, and basically you got to chalk it up to my man Bill, not Cosby.
Okay.
Bill Shakespeare. William Shakespeare. And William Shakespeare wrote the greatest love story of all time, which is Romeo and Juliet, and it is where most love stories that we watch and view derive from. It's forbidden love. It's one person from one class, another person from another class. They're not supposed to be together, but somehow they end up coming together. That's what Titanic was. A lot of love stories, where you go to Beauty and the Beast, like all these love stories, The Notebook, it's all comes from, if you look at most of the love stories that you probably like, it's somebody
even Love and Basketball.
Not supposed to be together. It's two different contrasting things. Outside forces don't want them together, but they find love anyways. All derived from Romeo and Juliet, that concept of that. So I would say Romeo and Juliet just hands down is just the most influential, best love story because everything has come from it. But I really like the Titanic, just overall, and it's one of the highest grossing movies ever. So that speaks to something. And also, if you're going like black movies specifically, I will have to say Love and Basketball. I mean, not Love and Basketball. Best Man Holiday is a really good one. There's another one which is kind of off y'all wouldn't really know it, but Their Eyes Are Watching God is a very
I've seen this, but I can't remember it.
It's a story. It's Halle Berry, Michael Ealy. I think Oprah was the executive producer of it, but it was just it didn't end like you think it would. I ain't gonna spoil it for anybody who hasn't watched it, but it was kind of heartbreaking too. But it was a good love story.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry, Asia. I mean, yeah, those of us from this 90s babies.
I wonder what they like as love stories.
Yeah, I don't know. Because, I mean, what's crazy about it, I actually understand why she's saying she doesn't like it. It's really because he played in her face so much and she just kept letting him do it. You know what I mean? Like, even when she called herself trying to date someone else, you didn't even really pick anybody that you could really flex on him with. It was even that guy was stupid.
And she's 28. She's not even like...
Yeah, so I don't know. I just think, yes, Sydney got played a lot, but ultimately he came around and he had a lot to learn. They were young, and I do think Love looked a lot like that. But I think Asia's saying that because it just made Sydney look like she was chasing him, and she was. She really was. But in the end, he was doing the chasing. In the end, he was doing the chasing.
Once he got down bad.
Once he... God damn it. She's got a point. She's got a point. That's what I say. I can understand why she feels this way, but we're not going to release that as one of our things, y'all. I'm sorry.
Maybe it's just representative of a generation.
Yeah,
like,
that's true.
You got him.
It's true.
It don't matter how... He knew what was good for him.
You got him over Tyra Banks.
He knew what was good for him, and he went back to where he needed to go back to.
That's very true. Smart, kind of dumb man, but yes, we got it. I get you, Asia girl. I see you, but it's not coming off my list as one of my favorites. I'm so sorry. I'm very, very, very sorry. All right. Are we ready for this real love scenario?
Yes, we are.
This one is I think a first for us.
Okay.
We haven't had anything quite like this, and I'm very anxious to get into this one. So let's go. She says, I've been in a relationship for almost 6 years. My boyfriend has twin girls that are 7 years old, going on 8. They call me a nickname and always refer to me as Daddy's friend and remind me that I am Daddy's friend. We have them mainly on the weekends. Is it wrong that I wish they knew that I'm their dad's significant other? When I brought this up to him, he says it's not necessary because it opens up curiosity for them and he doesn't want them thinking about that stuff, in air quotes. They have never seen us kiss, just hug and sleep in the same bed and house. There's so much that I can say about my scenario, but there's just not enough room for me to type. Keep in mind, they do spend time with me alone, and I have contributed financially to their lives as well. Now, there are a few times where we get up here and neither of us have much experience in a situation. It's most of these things we've experienced, we've dealt with, we had a little moment with it. But this one, Dre and I are both quite green on this because I have never dated anyone for this long with young children, who I was living in the house with him and basically being step parent-ish to them. The one time I had that, the children were adults. So I have no experience with young kids. And you haven't been with women that had babies. So you never had the situation, and you don't have no babies.
Nope.
So we had to phone a friend because
I still got an opinion.
No, we definitely got opinions. We definitely got opinions, but we will get into a little bit because we had to phone a friend. And if you have been here, you love Relationship Restored, you know about For the Girls. Angela, who was a host on For the Girls, she is a bonus mom. A mom two of her own babies, but she's a bonus mom to her husband's child. And she was able to give us some really good insight, which we're going to share in a bit. But Dre, what you think about her being daddy's special friend? Do you think, let me stop playing. Do you think that there is anything wrong with the girls not calling her daddy's girlfriend or dad and making sure that they say that? That's the face.
I mean, all right, I'm gonna keep it 100. I don't see the issue. First, all right, let's break this down. What does girlfriend mean to a 7 or 6-year-old?
Like in love in a very childlike way.
But like, what is it? So it's like you are sleeping with this man at his home. They see that.
Yeah.
You're, I'm sure, part of the daily routine if you guys live together and you're sleeping with him and all that stuff like that. They don't call you Miss So and So. They have a name for you. Yes. Right? Which is, it's seeming like their actual mom is probably active in their life, so there's something that differentiates you from their mother, right? So only in certain situations are they even referring to you as my dad's friend anyways, right? And for them, it's probably just easier to communicate that. Like, I don't know what your nickname is, but I can only, the way I see it is that somebody's like, oh, like something your mom, and it's like, oh, that's not my mom, that's my dad's friend,
right?
And it's like any adult knows what that means, right? My dad's friend, it's like from a kid, right? It's like any adult's like, oh, okay,
that's his girlfriend,
especially if she's watching them or spending time with them and all that stuff like that. So it's like, it seems like she's seeking validation of her role or position from the kids, but they just kids. Girlfriend, friend, they don't know the difference. And even what the real difference is, they can't really fathom that. And I can get from his perspective saying, like, if in his mind, it's like, they're already calling you friend. Every time I see you around, they're calling you by your nickname, which we agreed was fine to do. Like, me going into now explaining that this person is my girlfriend and what a girlfriend means, because they see dad's friend as somebody who already sleeps over, as somebody who contributes to the house, as somebody who does this. So now I got to differentiate friend in their mind, which is what they're already seeing, to then girlfriend. Like, I think maybe in his mind, he's trying to figure out, like, what do I add to that conversation to then make those two things different?
Yeah.
And the thing that he maybe is thinking of, he feels like it's too advanced and something that he doesn't want to actually, like, explain to them at this point in their life. And kids catch on, they understand that as they're learning girlfriend, boyfriend, school, like, they'll start to know, like, oh, that's my dad's girlfriend, all those different things like that.
Yeah.
So I don't feel like it's a major concern that his kids call you, just that part of it, call you friend.
Yeah.
If they already have a name for you, if they acknowledge and see you as somebody who provides and contributes to their life and all that stuff like that, if they don't treat you any different, they treat you with love, they treat you with respect. He treats you with love, he treats you with respect. I wouldn't rest on what a 7-year-old or a 6-year-old or a 5-year-old, because you've been in their life for a long time, is referring to you as, in those small instances to where they have to explain to somebody who's not a family member or anything who you are to them.
Yeah. There was a part in here that made me feel like, and I could be very wrong, but it made me feel like the kid might be doing a kid thing. And this is part where she says, they call me a nickname and they always refer to me as daddy's friend and remind me that I am daddy's friend. Kids, love them, respect them, but they can be jerks. Okay. Like flat out. Once they learn how to like take the wind out of your sails, oh, they do it. They do it. And kids have a way of being so incredibly candid, basically punch you in the face without touching you, because they're just so like tact is something that you have to learn and develop. And children just don't naturally have that. So I think she is being triggered by potential, like, you just my daddy friend.
I wonder if they put little in front of it, because they put little in front of it. Then I think that came from their mama.
You just my daddy little friend. You know what I mean? Like
that came from their mama then.
Yeah, I believe that there's been something like that, right?
Okay.
That has happened, and that could be irritating, right? Because you know that you are one, not just daddy's friend. You are daddy's girlfriend, which is a type of friend, a more significant friend. But that, I believe that's a triggering point here, because she said it like it was a doubling down of it. Like, they refer to me as his friend and they remind me that I am his friend. It's like, girl, shut up. Fix us some pork and beans in here, daddy's friend.
SpaghettiOs.
Yeah, so I think that's a part of it. I feel you mostly. I really do agree with you mostly, because I think about my dad, right? My father was a womanizer. If you've been here long enough, you've heard me say that many times. My dad had lots of friends, okay? And anytime, for as long as I can remember, so before I was even 12 or 13, or as long as I can remember, if my dad introduced me to a woman, he would often say, "This is my friend." And I knew that that was a romantic connection. You know, I may not have known at 7 what romance truly meant, but kids know what it means to like someone, right? You start that feeling very young. You know, most of us start acting out certain behaviors of liking at 3 and 4 years old. You see the little boy that comes to daycare and he followed that one little girl around the whole time, or he hugs her when nobody else is looking. That is a natural thing, right? That happens in a child's just DNA. I mean, in their genetics. So I think that kids can understand that there is a special connection between two people, their parent and perhaps another person, even if the choice of word is friend. I think adults see this and understand it differently. So he would probably never call you his friend to adults, right? He would never say that to any adult that he's introducing you to. But I do think friend is a safe word for children of a certain age, because it sounds like he's not trying to jump ahead of the whole birds and bees conversation, because there are some differences that make someone your friend versus your girlfriend.
Yes.
And a lot of them are rooted in biological connection, like actual attraction to someone. Your friends, that's not a thing. I like your personality and your mind. Your girlfriend, I like your personality, your mind, and your butt, and your boobs, and the way that you kiss me and do nice things for me. You know what I'm saying? Like it's an extra layer that you may not want to have to try to explain to kids. My only little loop to this is that she's been with these girls since they were 1, right? Based on, they've been together for 6 years. The children are 7. And I think at 7 years old, I don't think it's anything too crazy to say girlfriend. And I don't, you know, I don't know how that gets approached. And this is why we had to call Angela, because I'm like, what? I don't know how that gets approached, right? But I do think a 7-year-old can understand the difference between girlfriend and friend without having the birds and bees conversation. I definitely think that can happen, because there are some 7-year-olds that think that they have a boyfriend or girlfriend at school. So they understand the difference between Johnny, their buddy, and Davon, the boy that they really like. And if Davon likes them back, well, they might consider themselves boyfriend and girlfriend at that age.
Shout out to Davon.
Shout out to Davon. Shout out to Davon. Hey, Davon, our Davon. You know, like, are they really girlfriend, boyfriend? No. But at that age, you can understand that.
So then the question becomes here with that explanation, because that was good. That was a good counter perspective on that.
Well, thank you.
So now the question becomes, do you want them to just stop referring to you as daddy's little friend? I'm sorry, not little.
Dre adding that little on it just to make you
I feel
mad,
like it's
girl.
in there because you said they reminded you. Do you want them to stop reminding you, or do you want them to call you girlfriend? Because I think maybe it's just hearing it is annoying.
Yeah.
Versus, because if they're doing it out of malice, like you're saying 7-year-olds could do,
Sure,
purposely, they can hear that when their daddy say it, but if they doing it to mess with you, they probably gonna
Absolutely
keep messing with you anyways.
Yes.
And I think the conversation is less. It would be. I think it would be kind of weird for him to be like, "Don't call her my friend. Call her my girlfriend." Like versus like, stop messing with her and keep saying she my friend. She my friend. Like, stop doing that. Like, I think that's a different conversation than like demanding that they refer to her as his girlfriend when they're talking to other people or when they're talking to her. So I wonder if it's like you want the girlfriend title or you just want them to stop with the whole friend thing.
And I do think it's about hearing it. Now, she did say like there was more to the story.
Yeah, she did.
And so, you know,
we'll do a part 2 now.
Please reach out to us if there's things that we're missing. But just based on the information you provided, I absolutely think it's just her hearing it. You know, it's like what we talked about in the last episode and the one before that introduction and professing and titling. It becomes important in actually lots of things. If you're the president of a company, you don't want to be called something other than that, right? You want to be called the title because you earned the title. It's the same thing in relationships, and you want everyone to acknowledge and honor the title that you've earned or the title that has been bestowed upon you by that other person. So I get it, except for the fact that they're kids. You know, like, I really do understand you, girl. Like, I am that. Call me what I am. Don't call me nothing else. In fact, don't even call me Rhonda, because I think that that's a little too much. My name is Baby. Okay? My name is Sweetie, Dear, Honey. Like, Rhonda is like what the people call me at work. Okay? Like, this is people that I don't know. But when we're together, I do want to feel very special. But again, we're talking about kids, you know what I'm saying? So like, and little kids.
Yeah, kids, they mess with you like Rhonda said. Like, as an adult, you come in, you forget deodorant, you had a bad day. Kid, you do that, you stinky.
You stink
for the whole school year. You stinky shirt for the whole year. You they might be called. We had a dude in high school that we called Marbles.
Allergies are killing me.
His name was Marbles. I came in, they already had the nickname. How he get his nickname Marbles? Well, we ran track. He had on the short shorts, and the girl said it looked like it was Marbles.
No.
So mind you, I see this dude as an adult. Marbles. That ain't my name, dog. Like, you know,
nah, that ain't.
But it's like that name stuck.
It stuck
for years, and I still like. If you said the dude's name, and I was like, I don't know who you.
Yeah.
Marbles.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I know Marbles. Like, that stick with you when it come to kids. So you just kids, they know how to jab you and things stick with them. Especially if they get a reaction, they might just keep doing it. I don't know what these kids are like. But yeah, you can't I don't think you should take it too personal. Like, you in that relationship with him. And somebody said, I don't know who said it, but they said you were about the wrong F word. Why you ain't fiance yet after 6 years instead of just friends? That's what somebody said. I don't know who said it, but I think somebody said, oh yeah, I can't see him, but somebody over here said 6 years is a long time.
6 years, long time, and you playing stepmama. You know what I'm saying? Like a baby stepmama.
And you getting a real feeling of like how moms feel like this may not be your kids, and right now it's friend that they calling you that make you mad. But if it's your kids, it's something else, because you like, I invested time, I'm investing money. If you disrespect me with all that I'm putting into you, I'm gonna be upset. Like I said, your disrespect now is just a friend, but if those are your kids, they'll probably be disrespecting you in some other type of way where you feel like everything I do for you, because that's the anger when it comes to kids, especially kids that you providing for and doing stuff. It's like everything that I'm doing for you, and you coming out your mouth talking crazy.
Yeah, that's what makes parents lose their minds.
That's why you probably mad. That's why she mentioned I financially invested.
Absolutely.
I spent a lot of time with them. I don't deserve this disrespect.
This friend thing. Yes. And so that's where, honestly, Angela's perspective, because Angela understands where she's coming from. And when Angela and Sean met, his son was young. You know what I mean? And so too young to even call her anything other than Goo Goo Gaga. Like, just not old enough to call her by any title. But I do understand where she's coming from because of that point. You know, you and this man, based on what she wrote, it sounds like they live together. You are seeing his children frequently. You are active in their lives. He trusts you enough because she said they spent time together, just the three of them, just her and the girls. That's a lot of trust to just leave your biological kids with someone else. So he clearly trusts you. And then you do whatever you do financially, whether that's you take them places, you feed them when they're in y'all's home, whatever it is. So I really can understand why she would want him to make the conversation.
Do you think it's wrong for her to just tell him? Like they say, it's like, hey, not daddy's friend, I'm daddy's girlfriend. Like, is that inappropriate after 6 years? You know what I mean? Like, if you trust me to take them to school, you trust me to contribute financially.
Yep.
Does disciplining them come in my available responsibilities that I could have?
Yeah.
Correcting them, is that something that I can do if I'm doing all this other stuff? Do you see a future with me? How could I be the person in the house with them if I can't discipline, if I can't correct? Like, is that wrong for her? You know, just be like, I'm daddy's girlfriend, I'm not daddy's friend.
Here's where we're gonna bring back our old segment, bad advice that works. I know that it would be a problem just because when she said it to him, he was like, I don't want to do that. She really did try to get him to have the conversation since he's the parent. But the bad advice that just might work is you saying it to them. Is you saying, I'm actually daddy's.
What they say? Ask for forgiveness, not for permission.
Yeah, and just say it and like see what happens. Again, I do think maybe when they were 3, maybe when they were 4, got it. Right. But not now. And I know 3 to 7 is only 3 to 4 years of a difference, but I just feel like
true.
What's the problem?
I don't know what type of 7-year-olds you're dealing with too. So that might be a thing. That could backfire. Cause I just saw the meme, the little girl, she like, listen, Linda. And she's like, my name ain't Linda. And I don't know how she looked like she's about 4. So some of these kids got some attitude.
Listen, like my mama said, they've been here before. They on their second or third life. They came from being a 90-year-old woman,
that
clearly.
Girl said, listen, Linda. She was like, my name is not Linda.
And that's a number, and the slurred half of the rest of the words. You can't even talk halfway straight, and you
why is your neck rolling at 4?
Yeah.
And so your hand, like, nah.
You understand.
So I don't know what 7-year-old you're dealing with, because they might, if you might, like, I'm daddy's girlfriend, they might be like,
well, then why he don't call you girlfriend then? You know what I mean? Like, I can see.
Or lil friend. That's what you are. It's like.
Well, my mama said that you're not his girlfriend. You're just his friend. I do think it might be worthwhile to just say it to them and see what happens. I in all seriousness, that could cause a rift in the relationship because he could feel like these are my kids and like I would want to say that to them. But dude, I have basically been their third parent to some degree for most of their lives.
He'll get over it.
He would have to.
It sounds like you doing too
Y'all
much.
didn't hear Dre. He said he'll get over it.
I think it sounds like you in too deep that he ain't gonna just pull the plug on that. He relying on you, it seemed like.
Listen.
So I mean, just that. I ain't trying to go again. I ain't trying to create rifts in your relationship, but I just wonder, if you just mentioned it.
Yeah,
or if you say like, I love your daddy, he's my boyfriend, like, and see, it's working the rules a little bit, just referring to daddy as boyfriend, like, that's my boyfriend.
That's it. Yes, and I love him, and you don't have to get into anything else. You can to me maintain their innocence. The birds and bees conversation doesn't have to happen, but you can absolutely explain the difference between a friend and a girlfriend or boyfriend without talking about sex, without talking about sexuality. It doesn't require that. You can just say it's just very special. Or, you know what, I think about this person more than anybody else in my life. Or when I think about doing fun things, I always want to do it with this person. And I like holding their hand. Even to Angela's point, one of the things that stood out to her in the scenario was that they don't kiss in front of the kids. I, too, find that to be strange. I'm not saying you need to tongue each other down, but why aren't we pecking? Why aren't we showing physical affection like that? Children have to learn that. That's something that they should see. They shouldn't be shielded from a gentle kiss between two people who love each other, because that is what people do when they like and love each other. They peck. That's an animalistic thing. That's
Ooh.
not even just humans. Dogs kiss each other. Penguins kiss each other.
Dogs do a lot to each other.
They're animals.
Yes.
So do fish. So do penguins.
But it sounds like if that's the case, and then maybe there's a deeper thing that needs to happen. Who knows if he was shown like what he saw growing up, and like if it's a conscious choice to do that and not show it, like there seems like there might be something a little bit deeper to that you might have to revisit. So I think you have a few things that you're trying to figure out here. First, you got beef with the kids, just because you feel like they playing in your face
a little bit.
Second is, I think that you just have to figure out, like, it seems like you know what your relationship is with him, but how it's represented to the kids, you just need to talk to him about that. Sure. And I think that's part of also a future conversation too, because I mean, I'm famous for asking, and I don't do this like because I'm in a relationship, but in people's situations, like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
Like, I need to know, because what we're doing and where we're going dictates a lot about what happens right now. Because if this ain't really going nowhere, then I guess I'm your friend and I need to find me a boyfriend.
Sure.
Right?
That's it. That's it.
But if this is a long-term thing that you see, then we need to talk about this, because I'm going to be in these kids' life for a very long time.
Yeah, and I've already been here for a very long time.
So we need to have a conversation.
That's no drop in the bucket. You know what I mean? Like, I even think about my nieces, my niece Rhonda and Kyra, my brother Ryan's daughters. They call my sister-in-law their stepmother. Now, granted, it's a little different because they're married, but they were calling her Mama T before she was my brother's wife.
Yeah.
That was a relationship that they developed, that Tanira worked on with them. You know, she was present in their life, not to replace their moms. They both have mothers who are active in their life, that have always been active in their lives. My brother also never asked his daughters to call his girlfriend, then fiance, then wife, mom. Never asked for that. They had that's their nickname for her. And I do think nicknames are special. It is, you know, you may very well call your step parent mom or dad if that's so what you want to do, and your parents aren't offended by it, your biological parents aren't offended by it, great. But I do think that means that you're special. And I do think the daughters understand that she's special. So it is a play of words, but words do mean things. And I think Dre's advice to have the overall future conversation is the point, right? Because the things that she didn't share, which she said she can talk about more, I'm sure that when we get into part 2, because I feel like we're going to have a part 2 for this, it is going to be other things that indicate that not only will you not have the conversation with your daughters about me being someone more significant, it has been 6 years and I'm still just your girlfriend. Or are you doing this with other people, not just the kids? Are you doing this with other family members? Like, do you go in and out of it? That seems to be a theme these last 3 episodes, by the way.
I don't think so, because I think it's if somebody living with you, like, you know, taking care of the kids, stuff like that, I think it's, people know what the situation is. But speaking from a kid who's been in that situation, because I have a step parent who I call Pops.
Yeah.
And that was a name that I gave him, like based off of how he showed up in my life. My dad was around and all those things, but I didn't call him dad because I have my dad. But I call my dad, but I wanted to. He was bigger than just Mr. Phillip. Like, he became a father figure and a father to me.
Yeah.
So I thought it was important to elevate that and give him that title. But that was like my decision.
Yeah.
It's just interesting, like, you know, trying to, you know, make somebody call somebody something, you know, if the kid doesn't feel comfortable with that.
Yeah.
But I guess the difference is, I'm correcting the relationship that me and somebody else have versus the relationship that you have with that person. You know what I mean? So it's like, what I did with my stepdad was me and his relationship.
Right.
What I did with, what you do with anybody else is your relationship. Like the Mama T, that's their relationship with her.
Right.
But it's a difference if it's my relationship with
Right.
my person.
That's right. My brother has always called his now wife whatever she was at that time. This is my girlfriend. This is the woman in my life. This is my fiance. This is my wife. And to everyone, you know what I mean? Like to whoever was listening, whether it was adults or children. And so I do think it's worth the bigger conversation with him, just to say, like, what are we doing? And again, when you think about approaching something that's difficult, I know you've gone to him one time already, but I do think taking the time to truly explain why it's important, and not because of how it's going to make you puff up your chest, but because you feel that you've invested time and energy not only into him but into his girls, and you want them to understand that, and not to just interpret that as friendship, because that can also be very confusing, because kids, that's what you call all your classmates, all the people in
All
school,
of them is friends.
they all are friends. So if you start to get confused on that, because what you think is a friend in the household is a person that you hug, that person that you sleep in the same bed with, well, then your daughters think that that's what friends do. And that's not what friends necessarily do. That's what special friends do. That's what partners do. That's what married people do. That's what people in relationships do. So there needs to be something that I think there needs to be a conversation, and he should think about it. He should talk to their mother about it. And he obviously should talk to his lady about it, so that they're all on the same page about what that conversation
Kids
looks
so
like.
curious though, because then they're gonna be like,
so what y'all do?
So what changed?
Uh-huh.
So you gotta explain, like,
you got older. You got older and you got smarter. And I knew that now that y'all are big girls, you can understand this better. I trust you with this information. Listen, there's a way to, again, maintain their innocence, but not slight the other people around. And I think we don't give kids enough credit for how incredibly intelligent and understanding they are. And sometimes you just have to say to children, is something that you're not going to understand right now. But the older you get and the more mature you get, the smarter you're going to get, because you're really smart at 7. But oh my gosh, when you get 12, oh my goodness, when you're 16, we're going to be talking about a whole bunch of other stuff. But we got to wait until we get there, right? Like, there's a way for you to do that so that they get it and they buy into it. And sometimes, again, you're the adult, you're the parent, baby, that's it. There's nothing else to talk about. You understand how many times I would drive my mother crazy with questions, and she would be like, Rhonda, that's it, baby, we done. And I knew that meant any more questions, I had to go put them in my little diary, because they weren't going to be asked to my mom anymore. She shut it down. So yeah, I think dad can bend, but I also think the person who wrote in, our real lover, I think you also are taking it too personal, right? I think there's a mixture here, two things going on.
You're fed annoyed. You're a little annoyed by it. Yeah. Which is understandable.
Sure.
But I think that, typically when you're in a relationship with somebody and they love you and something's really bothering you a lot, they try to do whatever they can to rectify it and
That's
fix
how you
it.
know you're in a good situation.
Because when you're not happy, the house is just unsettled.
House is not happy. House is not happy. Oh, we hope we were able to help you. And we hope Angela's insight was also able to help you, because Angela definitely understands. And I don't know. Do you know what her bonus son calls her? Does he call her mom?
I don't know I don't know.
Okay. But clearly they're married now, so it is a little bit of a different dynamic. But like I said, we hope that we were really able to help you. Please, please, please write in with the additional information. If you would prefer a different way and not through the website, because you got a lot to say, let's talk about it. Slide in my DM and we'll get you hooked up. Or slide in the Relationship Restored's DM, and then we'll get you connected with a way to send us all the deets.
Yes.
But if you want our help, go to relationshiprestored.com, click in the contact button and write in. Give us the deets so we can help you. Follow us on social media. We are on everything at Ronnie Cakes,
as Dre Smith,
and at Relationship Restored.
See y'all later.
Bye.